everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm the City Witch. So I have July's free reading for you guys. So I thought we'd go with the mermaids this month because they have that nice summery kind of energy, and as we're in July and the sun is shining and the days are getting hot and beautiful, I just thought that it matched beautifully to this month's energy. So yeah, thought mermaids for a reading. So if you guys have done this before and you're a regular on my channel, you know exactly what you're doing, so crack on and choose your card. If you are brand new to my channel, hi and welcome, and I'm gonna help you choose your card. So what I'd recommend first of all is that you take a few deep breaths, and on every exhale, just release the stress and tension from your body, calm yourself, and slow your heartbeat down. And then when you're ready, I want you to look at each card individually, one at a time. Take your time with this as well because there's no rush. And then select the card that you feel drawn to. Now, how do you know which card you're drawn to? So there's going to be a few sensations that you may pick up on. First of all, your eyes might dart to a particular card repeatedly. Even as you try and look at a different card, you might get drawn back to that other card. That would be the card with a message. Other signs can be butterflies in the stomach, sweaty palms, your heart starts to beat faster, or you skip a beat, or your breath goes short, or you just get this particularly kind of happy sensation. Or you might hear a voice. Some of you out there that are very psychic will hear a voice telling you that card, that's the right one, pointing you in the right direction. So whatever sign you get that points to a certain card, or you get that sensation while looking at that card, that is the card that holds a message for you this month. So I'd like you to pause the video and take a moment to do that, and take as long as you need, guys. So you should have selected your card. So we have card 1, card 2 and card 3. So I'm going to start the reading by reading card 1. Let's see what we have for you guys. So we have Aphrodite, the return of Aphrodite. This is a lovely card of feminine divine energy. It's a card of goddess power, retreat, and recognizing that your body is a temple that needs to be worshipped and nurtured. So straight away when we get this card, I get a really strong sensation that you guys have been struggling with self-doubt. Lately you've been doubting your ability to be attractive, and you've been starting to doubt whether you can even attract a partner at all. You might be feeling particularly unattractive, not very sexy lately. And this card is about reminding you of your inner power, your gracefulness and your allure. And it's important to remember that nobody is ever truly ugly. Everybody's beautiful in their own way. We all have our certain people that we're attracted to, and you know, we can't help that. It's biological, it's DNA. The people we're not attracted to, it doesn't make them ugly, it just means you're simply not attracted to them. It's just as simple as that, guys. So if you're pursuing somebody, they don't find you attractive, that's not to say that you are unattractive. That just means that they're physically not attracted to you. And physical attractiveness, being drawn to somebody, is very important in a relationship, especially if you're going to cultivate relationships. So does not mean at all that you are unsexy, that you're unattractive, none of those things. So if you've been telling yourself things, shame on you, because it's not true. So this card, the return of Aphrodite, it's all about reminding you of your power and your gracefulness and your allure. Like I said, these qualities shine through with this card quite powerfully. We all have our own magnetic appeal, and no one is ever truly considered to be ugly. Remember how beautiful or handsome you are, and let Aphrodite remind you of that. Sometimes we feel this way when we are lonely or when our partners neglect us. So if you are in a relationship and your partner's neglecting you or making you feel unappreciated, or they haven't told you or reminded you in a long time that you're sexy and they find you sexy and that you're a beautiful individual, then shame on them. That's them at fault, that's not you at fault. And if you're doubting how beautiful you are, how attractive you are, and whether your partner still finds you attractive, then you need to change your mentality, because it's not about you at that point, it's about them. If they're not telling you that they found you attractive, if they're not reminding you of your beauty, then that's their fault and weakness, it's not yours. And actually as well, the other thing to remember here is you don't need justification from anyone else. Nobody can make you feel worthy and you shouldn't put that power in anyone else's hands. So maybe this card as well is kind of here to remind you that you're giving your power away, guys, and this is what's making you feel unsexy, unworthy, diminished in some way. So you're being reminded of your goddess or godly power, and that you have the ability to be a sexy, beautiful individual within you, and you are all these things. You just need to remind yourself of that. The other thing I want to say is that it is possible to be a sexual being without being in a partnership or relationship or marriage of any kind. You can still be a very sexual individual without any of those things. You do not need anyone else to remind you of your own beauty and your worth. Instead, I want you to spend time making yourself feel worthy. Remind yourself how beautiful you are. Do something for yourself that will make you feel happy, and explore the realms of sensuality, self-acceptance, and through self-acceptance, it will boost your self-esteem and make you feel loads better about yourself. So different ways that you could do that, as an example, is you can run yourself a really nice bubble bath and pamper yourself. You can have a night, say once a week or once a month, if you're unable to do it weekly, that you just spend time with yourself doing things that make you feel sexy and beautiful. Perhaps you practice your makeup, or you decide to try a new hairstyle. You might take yourself shopping and buy yourself a new outfit. Whatever it is that makes you feel sexy and beautiful about yourself, I want you to start incorporating that in your life to transform the way you're feeling, this self-doubt, into something more positive. Other things you can do is you could do a self-love ritual to remind yourself of your power, your beauty, or your handsomeness. And you can spend time pampering yourself, worshipping yourself, and you can also make some changes in your life. So some of the ways that we often feel unsexy is because we look in the mirror and we see things about ourselves that we don't like. We see our flaws and our faults. Or we might notice we've put on weight, changed shape as we've gotten older, and we don't like it because we're usually not known for embracing our changes. Usually we kind of deny our changes, and we fight hard against change because it's terrifying. But really you need to think about why these changes have occurred. Has your body changed because you are aging and changing as a result? In which case that's fine, that's normal, it's natural. If it's about you've put on weight, then maybe think about your diet, think about your hygiene, think about your body, and are you treating it like a temple, or are you filling it with lots of toxic ingredients? Are you eating too much chocolate? As an example, have you been warned by the doctor to stay off something, but you've ignored his advice and you've carried on anyway? Are you eating too many takeaways a week? Whatever it is, contemplate that and maybe make some healthy changes. Maybe some of the other things that have really got you down is that you've not been out in nature lately and you've not spent any time in any beautiful gardens, or maybe you're in the city and you're too isolated, surrounded by stone and brick and mortar, and instead you need to get out in nature a little bit and remember that the world you live in is a beautiful, beautiful place. And that in turn is going to remind you about how beautiful you are, because it's going to give you those happy, bubbly, lovely vibes. So maybe think about some of these things I've suggested. Think about incorporating a self-love ritual practice that you can have in your life on a regular basis. And just remember that you don't need to get worth and recognition from somebody else. You can give that to yourself. And if you are doubting your attractiveness, this is about reminding you that you are attractive, you are beautiful, and never ever doubt that, guys. Okay? Let's move on to group 2. So for group 2, we have vulnerability. Open your heart, allow yourself to be tender. This for me is 2 messages. So you're going to fall into one of these 2 categories, guys. So the first category is about feeling naked and vulnerable. Straight away, the word naked came in my mind. This is a sense of feeling exposed in some way, and you're perceiving it like it's a weakness, okay? You feel very vulnerable. You feel like other people are seeing that as a form of weakness, and you're being attacked on some level, and you're very exposed and you feel very threatened by that. So what I want to say to you guys is that the need to protect yourself is a survival instinct. So it's okay to protect yourself, but you also need to understand that perhaps what you're truly looking for, it's not about vulnerability or people seeing this raw, naked exposure of yours. Maybe instead it's about a sense of belonging. And by being exposed, maybe some of the qualities of yourself that maybe you're not so proud of, that you think is very bizarre or weird, you don't think will be accepted by the people around you, and thus that's going to take away that sense of belonging that you had before, because we all have things that sometimes we hide that we're not proud of. And when those things come to light, that's when we feel truly exposed and vulnerable. And I feel for some of you, a secret or some part of yourself that you've kept hidden has come to light. And I don't feel like you've had control of that as well. I feel like the control and the ability to tell people when you're ready has been taken from you. And if so, that's disgusting. And I'm so sorry that's happened to you guys. But now it's out there. You can choose how to react to this. You can choose what to do about it. You can choose to sit there and feel vulnerable, naked, weak and exposed and feel like you're going to be cut off, judged or ridiculed in some way. Or you can choose to stand your ground and say, yeah, this is me. Take it or leave it. You can choose to step in your power, guys. You can choose to stand your ground and be powerful. And that's what I think you need to do. Because it is a little bit about survival. And the need to protect yourself is definitely coming into play here, but there's a way to do that. So don't attack people around you that know this information or it's just come to their ears. Definitely don't shoot the messenger, because, the messenger might not be at fault. Whatever has happened in this situation in the month of July, you definitely need to assess it, take a deep breath and really look at it from a logical perspective. And I would definitely say that your emotions are running high and you're letting maybe too many of them run wild, and that's going to affect everybody around you. So control your emotions, take a new look at this from a different perspective, recognize that the way you feel, feeling naked, vulnerable, exposed to the world because this secret or part of yourself that you kept hidden is now out there for everyone to see, and you feel like this community that you've built up is now going to turn on you. Therefore, that sense of belonging disappears and you're feeling this primal urge to defend yourself, to protect yourself from attack and ridicule. So you're going to put your shields up, your walls up, and you're going to come across as quite bitter, angry, a lot of negative traits are going to come out, and that isn't something you want to do because you're going to make it worse. So calm down, take a deep breath, get a new perspective on it, and step into your power and tell people, yeah, this is who I am. I would have preferred the opportunity to tell you this myself in my own time, but since it's come out, yeah, this is me. Deal with it. That's kind of what you need to be able to do. You need to step in your power, guys, and tell people to deal with it, because this is you and you ain't changing for no one, and nor should you, by the way. Not unless it's a bad quality. If it's a bad quality, then maybe do some changing. But if it's a good quality, if it's something about yourself that you love, you just weren't ready to maybe share it with the world, don't hide it anymore. It's out there anyway, so you're gonna have to embrace it. You can choose how to control the flow of this situation, and you can choose to step in your power, and you can choose to own this. And if you show yourself as powerful and strong, confident, people cannot pick on you. They cannot use it against you. This is not a vulnerability. It becomes a strength suddenly. It becomes armor. So you have the ability to do that. Now, the second thing I want to say that was coming up for me here was a kind of sense of hermetizing yourself and being on your own. A sense of isolation was coming up for me. So I do feel this is split between two groups, as I say. The first group I've explained. The second part of this for me is isolation, hermetizing yourself and being completely and utterly isolated and seeing that as a sense of weakness and vulnerability. And I do want to say to you guys that you're making a mistake here, because being alone, choosing to live a hermit lifestyle is definitely not vulnerability. In fact, it's independence, it's strength, and it's teaching you how to go it alone. And it's going to teach you some very vulnerable life skills, how to be on your own. I mean, that's very, very difficult, guys. Virtually nobody is ever on their own. So if you are feeling very alone and you've lived this lifestyle where you've been isolated for quite a long time, I mean, there's different levels of isolation as well. This could be you move to a new city where you know absolutely nobody and you struggle to make friends. You struggle to connect with colleagues. You've got no partner in that city. That's isolation, loneliness, living a hermit lifestyle. You could be going that extra mile. Maybe you live in a cottage in the middle of nowhere, miles apart from civilization. I mean, that's seriously hermetizing yourself. But other things could be that you've made a lot of really bad mistakes in your life that have meant you've been shunned by other people and pushed out of communities, and therefore you've had this forced kind of hermit lifestyle put upon you, and you see it as a negative, but you could choose to embrace it as a positive and turn it into a strength. Because remember what I said, it's independence. It is a form of strength, a very powerful type of strength that not many people have, because most people can't survive on their own. If you can survive on your own and you can embrace that level of independence, then it is a form of strength. And then if you can learn to go it alone, do things on your own where you don't have to rely on other people, that's another form of strength as well. But there is a danger here for those of you who are living that kind of hermetized lifestyle, because the danger here is that you reject people around you when they do finally reach out to you, because maybe it feels too good to be true. I do feel for you guys that somebody recently has tried to offer an olive branch and has tried to reach out to you, or is about to reach out to you in the month of July, and you're doubting their motives, or you're a bit afraid because you're not sure what it's going to lead to. It's going to mean a lot of changes in your life, and it means embracing community and society for a change. That can be quite scary when you've been on your own for a long time, but don't shut out love and don't allow fear to hold you back. You might also feel quite naked as well, because for the first time you're being looked at by another human being. You're being scrutinized in a way. You might even feel judged to some degree. So this feeling of being naked that you have, of being exposed, it comes from a place of fear, and you don't need to let that fear consume you. Instead, why not see it as an opportunity to open your heart to others when they come along? And do not see it as weakness in any way, but instead see it as a chance to open your heart to those people and show how tender you are, and that you have this really nice, tender, loving nature, and that you're ready to embrace community and forge relationships with those around you. And as you've learned such powerful qualities from being on your own, such as independence and strength, and how to really live a life alone, those are qualities you can pass on to other people and show them your strengths and all the skills that you learned along your journey, helping to build the community around you in a new way. You might have built some skills, some serious mad skills that nobody has ever dreamed of. If you live completely an hermetized life and you've had to chop wood, you might have learned how to whittle that wood into something wonderful, how to build chairs and furniture. That could be a really valuable skill that could turn into a career. So there's all sorts of different things here with this card that I'm seeing for you guys, but you're definitely going to fall either into one or two of those categories. And whichever one it is for you, heed the advice of this card, because certainly a lot of what's being said here is that you'll see both groups are seeing something about themselves which is being perceived as a weakness, as vulnerability and exposure, but in a negative way. So you need to change your way of thinking, is what this card's trying to do for you guys, and you need to transform that in the month of July. Be ready for when someone offers you an olive branch and is willing to bury the hatchet and embrace a future of peace. And welcome that as well, because that's going to lead to opening your heart to people, to loving, nourishing energies, and it's going to lead you down a positive new path rather than one of isolation, loneliness, and being pushed out from the communities that you've built, or even living that hermit lifestyle and then choosing to reject community when it's been offered to you. So that would be a negative, because you can certainly choose to live a hermetized life if you want to, guys. No one's saying you have to be in a community, but there is going to be a point in life where you're going to need other people, and you're going to lean on others, or that need to lean on someone's gonna arrive into your life. And if you don't have anyone there, who are you gonna lean on? So it's always better to have someone there in your life, to have a sense of community, to have family, to have friends, to be a little bit social, and never truly isolate yourself. But if you did isolate yourself, bring your skills, your training, your strength, your independence into your future life as a positive rather than negative, and never ever think that your vulnerability is weakness, because it's not. So that's the message for you guys in group 2. So let's look at group 3. Group 3, you have energy field adjustments. This is all about cleansing and about physical and energetic health and well-being. So straight away, if this card is coming up, this is telling me over the last few months, so before July, you guys have been surrounded by horrible, toxic energy, and it's clung to you. It's sticking to you like glue. It's infecting your aura, and it's making you feel bogged down and heavy. So the past month has left you feeling God, drained is the only word I've got for this. So there's this unwanted energy stuck to you, and you're probably feeling very drained and heavy and tired, and maybe even irritated as well, because as we get low, our emotions get low as well, and we have this short fuse, we are quick to temper, we get irritated easily, and we just feel like we want the whole world to go away and leave us alone, and we're just sick of people bugging us, especially when we're trying to relax and calm down. And then someone comes along and goes, da, 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 and you kind of go, what? Because you kind of just want to be left alone. So I'm picking up on that a lot with this card. Irritation, people bugging you unnecessarily, people relying on you at the worst possible times. And the minute you take a moment for yourself, somebody wants your attention, and it's just getting to you a lot, guys. So there's a lot with this card. There's a lot of emotion I'm picking up on. There's this boggy, kind of tired, exhausted energy as well. And there's this negative energy I feel stuck to you guys. So definitely this is a card of needing to cleanse, okay? So you need to spend time cleansing and rebalancing your energy points. If you do not take the time to do this, please be aware that this situation could get worse. The feelings that you've been feeling during this month, or as time passes on, is not going to get better. It's only going to get worse, because the energy is not going to disappear on its own. It needs physically removing. It is vital that you take care of yourself on an energetic level by doing some form of cleansing or detoxifying. So recommendations for that could be taking a really nice salt bath or a salt shower. So if you don't have a bath, you can put a salt herbal blend in a biodegradable tea bag and hang it on your shower head, so that as the spray falls down, it falls on your body. Obviously be careful of your eyes, guys. If you're putting salt in it, nobody gets salt in their eyes, for the love of the gods. Don't do that. But you know, spend time scrubbing yourself. There are lots of lovely soaps and scrubs these days you can get. You can get soaks, you can get face cleansers that are blessed, and actually a lot of these things you can bless yourself as well. If you're into spiritualism and witchcraft, you can bless your makeup remover, your wet wipes. All of these things can be blessed for cleansing, removing toxic energy, detoxifying and purifying your body. So just some ideas for you there, guys. Other things you can consider is wearing rebalancing crystals, or crystals that absorb negative energy and remove it from the body. You might want to take some time to meditate and visualize, looking at your aura and your energy and your energetic body. Also look at the different layers of your aura as well. All the various different layers can show different things and show when something's going to manifest on the physical level. If you don't like doing salt baths or wearing crystals or meditating, or perhaps you struggle to visualize, other ideas might be to smoke cleanse yourself with some incense, or you can use a charcoal cube and burn some herbs on it. But please be mindful that herbs obviously are safe to burn. You're not allergic to them or anything like that. Other ideas might be to sound cleanse yourself. So singing bowls are great from that. You can get bells as well. Witches' bells are great for helping you cleanse and remove negative energy. You could use ritual singing, dancing and drumming. There's just loads of ideas out there to cleanse, guys. There are even cleansing sprays these days that you can get, and you can make your own as well. So think about ways to cleanse that would make you feel happy, that aligns with you, your spirituality and your path, that you feel comfortable doing. And I would recommend through the month of July that you incorporate these things in your life and you start a cleansing routine. And the other thing is as well, because we're talking about negative energy and it's been bogging you down, it's been affecting you, not just energetically and physically, but obviously emotionally as well, because you're starting to snap and get irritated with other people around you. I would also recommend taking the time in July to heal and do some things for yourself. And if you're getting irritated with people bugging you and wanting your attention when you're trying to relax, maybe you need a holiday or a break as well, guys. So these are all things that are kind of coming up for me with this card, and I hope it's made sense to you. So I'm telling you, cleanse, guys. I'm advising that you spend time with yourself doing something that makes you happy. Go on a little holiday or have a little break if possible, and make sure the month of July is about, you know, rebalancing yourself and feeling better about yourself and getting rid of all these nasty toxic energies so that you can feel better than ever and go into the next month feeling bright, bubbly and ready to take on the world. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading, guys. Thank you very much for watching, And if you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up because it does help me on YouTube. Please click the bell so YouTube will tell you when my next video comes out and you can keep an eye out for my next monthly reading. My readings always come out the 1st of every month so that you have plenty of time to watch it and see if the prediction for the month that you are on is correct, accurate, and, you know, has made a prediction for you. If you'd like to book a proper private reading from me, you can do that via the links provided, which are for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and via email. If you'd like to offer light, love, and support to this channel, or just simply tip me for this reading, you can do that via Patreon. All the links are provided on the video. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate your support. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Blessed be.